Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Yeah. Hey, y'all know what time it is, man. Let's go in. Hey, this is Face the Music, where we take the music, break it down, turn around a different take on the music. We gon' play around and act the fool something stupid. So happy Charlie Trouble, this how we do it.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. Yeah. 7 Mile Radio.
What up, though? That old filthy fudger.
You know what? Nope. I'm not even. America, welcome to Face the Music. The show where we take your favorite song lyrics.
What we do with them?
Break them shits down.
And what we do?
Throw 'em back in your face. And make you
Face
the
the
music. I am your boy Willie Soso, and to my right we have
your girl Miss Happy. You already know.
and behind the boards is
Black
bane
Mark
of my existence. With
Wow.
all the sound effects and sound
Hey man, you like you
effectiness.
come in with the dirty old uncle, man. I had to throw the fart on the end of there, man.
Mark Smokerberg, aka
That would be me.
Black
Mark.
Mark.
That would be me, sir. That would be me.
What's happening?
Same old shit, different toilet, man. You know what it is.
We also have a newbie in the building.
Can they see her? Oh, there she goes.
Hi.
The co-producer for the show today,
What up, though?
Coop.
Co-producer Coop.
What up,
And
y'all?
she's our one of our new engineers in training.
Yeah. Welcome, love.
So I can stop doing so much work around here.
Right
Cooper.
on.
Yeah.
Cooper.
So, Coop.
Hanging with Mrs. Cooper.
Right
That's
on.
right.
I'm hanging with Miss-
So, Coop, check this out. You heard that rat-ass bastard sound that he let fly as I was
That
doing
didn't
the
sound like it
intro?
was coming from a rat.
I did.
It didn't sound like it
You
was coming from a rat.
can't do that. We have to change some shit up.
See that button right there? Hold on, look. See that button right there?
See?
Go.
And I knew he was going to do this
Where's
shit
it
too.
at? Wait, where is
He,
it at? See
he
the
is
fart
now
button?
making
fart
that.
button.
Yeah.
That's the fart button. That's the button that you hit for him and shit.
Coop,
I got you.
Coop, guess what?
I got you.
You
I
got
see. I see what we need to
got
do.
me?
I got you.
You got me?
I see what we need to do.
Hey, Coop.
Yeah.
So when you're behind the
Use that hand. 'Cause this
place
hand is gonna be
over
on the
there,
mouse.
you get to do what you want to do with the sound.
That's right.
That's right.
I'll see how this is going.
I'm just saying.
Nobody puts baby in the corner. And the hell with all of y'all. America, how y'all doing?
I hope America is doing okay.
Happy? What's been going on with you the past 24, 48, 78, 2 hours?
I've been really busy getting ready for my show on tomorrow night.
Right
And
on. That's right.
I'm tired, and me and you guys have to stop procrastinating because I asked over and over again what colors I'm wearing. I got my colors a few days before the show, and I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to make sure I have what I need. And it's been exhausting. I can't even focus on stuff that women like to focus on, like hair. Yeah, so.
Wow.
Well, tomorrow night I will be at the the Aretha Jazz Cafe inside of the music hall at 8 p.m. singing.
I seen some real cool exhibits. I don't know. It was a video I seen. I guess they putting up like exhibits of some of the Motown singers and like all around the area. I haven't been around down there in a while, so I don't know if it's something that's new or I'm just now seeing it. But yeah, it's some exhibits going on up there. That's pretty cool.
And not
I
the
see
rapper.
going on. Not the rapper.
Yeah.
Not the rapper.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That was boom worthy.
That's what I tried to hit, but I hit the wrong one.
It worked. So you got the joint going on at Aretha.
Yeah, I got it
Nice,
going on.
inside of what is it, the music hall, right?
Inside of the music hall. Yep, the Aretha Jazz Cafe and
Oh, I'm thinking about the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater.
oh,
Oh, you mean Shane Park?
Yeah, Shane Park. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
America, Just so you know, around here, we don't give a fuck what you rename your amphitheaters, your stadiums. It's going to
Just
remain
like-
the name that it grew up.
Yeah,
in our
GM
minds.
building is still the Renaissance.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Just
No one calls it GM.
Cobo Hall is still Cobo Hall.
Yes, it's still Cobo Hall.
It's not the what bank took it over.
Whatever.
No,
TCF.
Huntington now.
Yeah, whom
It's
the fuck
Huntington
ever.
right now.
It's the Cobo Hall.
Yeah, it is Cobo.
No, man, just grinding, man. You already know me. Just we got the membership cards for the media complex now. So if anybody wants to make a purchase and go ahead and buy their membership cards, because if they want to go ahead and be an in-studio audience member for Face the Music.
Let's go.
Can we say this now
Can we say what?
about the building?
What?
Can we say that we got the whole building going?
You gonna say it on air? Can we say it?
What?
About
I don't know what the hell he's
about
about
the
to
new
say.
about the new complex.
Yes, we've always been
Oh,
talking
okay.
about it.
All right, all right.
But I'm just don't understand how he gonna be on air talking. Can we talk about the new building?
like,
Can we talk about the divorce?
We'll call it a teaser.
Can we talk about the drug charges? Are we okay to talk about that now?
statute of limitations up on
Right,
this.
like,
For the record, we're never okay to talk about the drug charges. If you get him up, don't mention my name.
right.
7 Mile Radio got a new complex, and you are going to be able to come see shows like Face the Music live.
in living color.
Yeah, man.
And I'm taller in person.
Bum, 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 bum.
I got you a better one. I got you a better one.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But no, man, we're gonna be upgrade personalities in person.
Let's go and then have a conversation, y'all.
Facts on
Be part of the
facts.
conversation because I know y'all have so much to say. How much are the memberships, yo?
The memberships are $25. The memberships are $25. The cards are good for 3 months. So there's two ways you can do it, right? You can sign up online and they automatically come out of your account every month. That's the way that I suggested, make it real easy for us. Everybody to sign up that way. We're going to send you a voucher for a 4-night, 3-day trip to Vegas for you plus one at a 5-star resort.
Oh,
so
boy.
that's a perk. of
I'm
signing
getting
up
my
online.
membership today.
Yeah, so
I don't need a
so
membership.
for the people who don't have the means to maybe have that come out of their accounts every month, you can purchase a membership card, and it's good for 4 visits to the complex, and that card is good for 3 months.
Let's
Nice.
go. Come
Nice.
on. You are
Excellent.
witnessing history. Can we at least put that out there?
Speaking of history, I just left the Detroit Historic Museum
Let's
today,
go.
dropping off our memorabilia for our exhibit, which I seen a sneak peek of today.
Sweet.
Which is very dope, and it'll be up next month, number one. I talked to, again today, I went to, while I was there, they pitched the opportunity for us to do podcasts live there at the Historic Museum in their auditorium.
Ooh,
Nice.
that is nice.
Excellent.
As well as partnered up with the Hibachi King on 8 Mile. He
Let's
said that
go.
we can use our facility up there to do a podcast, like a fundraiser event.
Let's
As
go.
well as the Craft Club, the Craft Cannabis Club on Woodward.
Okay.
Oh, damn show. Gotta do a show there.
Yes, we're going to be there as well. So we're going to, we got some things lined up according,
America,
of course,
I'm-
the Podifine and
I'm down with the
all of that.
hibachi.
So
America, I'm telling you right now.
I'm down with the hibachi.
The live podcast that we do at the Cannabis Club, I just forewarning, it's gonna be a complete shit show, cause I'm gonna get high that day.
yeah, because
Yeah.
we're gonna have Mushroom Man and the Muffin Man there.
Whoa,
And just keep away all the
Muffin Man?
ganders.
The Muffin Man.
who is the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man is the top Muffin Man in Michigan.
Oh my God.
I literally was just doing a childhood
medical muffins.
medical what?
Yeah,
medical muffins.
Yeah, the brownies and all of the baked goods.
Aha,
That's the Muffin Man.
the
I got
Muffin
some
Man.
medical
So we have
muffins.
the Muffin Man.
I'm sorry, I can't. I
That's
got
his
this
name.
child.
That's
No,
his
I got
name.
this
Like you
childhood
can't help
limerick.
but say it.
The Muffin Man. Yeah, that's the Muffin Man.
The Muffin
Muffin
Man.
and Mushroom Matt. Mushroom Man.
Who is the
Nice.
Muffin Man?
Yeah, like Mario and Luigi.
Sweet.
What's up, T-Boz? Our number one fan. We love you.
Hey,
Yes,
hey,
yes,
Miss
yes, yes.
T-Boz. Welcome.
Yes. So,
I'll tell you what. While we're talking about the Muffin Man
what about it?
and Mushroom Mac and all of the other dope ventures that 7 Mile Radio has coming, I just want to officially say, get involved. Stay tuned. Make sure you get your membership cards and come come see your people at Face the Music.
Yes. Now, what the hell is going on with some old damn shootings? And hello.
Yeah, not that there's any real good segue into it, but we had another school shooting.
I mean,
America.
how many do we need, man?
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the concept of just going into a school and shooting it up.
So you know, this is our first transgender.
Yeah.
But see, and I was
Sure,
just
well.
having that conversation because I vaguely heard that earlier. So expound.
What you mean expound? It was a transgender man.
So the woman was a man.
Was a man, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
She,
so
like LL said.
Wow.
so she
Them.
was a doctor, I heard, or something like
I
that.
don't know all of
And
it.
was medical.
He was a former student there. I don't know what transpired to now that he's an adult. Decided to go ahead and shoot a school up with murder 3 kids and 3 adults. I don't know what happened that triggered it or made him do it, but that's all the information I
and he
heard
was a former student.
that
Yeah,
he did go there. That's all I heard.
Yeah.
Strange.
So,
Yeah, it is crazy, T-Boz. It's
thoughts
really
and
crazy.
prayers to
The whole
the
Nashville,
people, in
yeah,
Nashville,
community.
family. You know what, man? I'm not gonna lie to you. I have nothing to say. I don't, cause not that I'm desensitized to it, but at this point it just feels disingenuous because we did absolutely jack shit to prevent the past shootings, and we have absolutely no intention as a society on preventing future shootings. It's gonna happen again. So until the next time,
next month, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's
we
almost
fresh
like-
off the last month at MSU. Remember that, right?
And-
And then another one before the month before that, right?
Right.
Remember that one and then the one before, yes.
It's almost like, and I'm not gonna say it's a conspiracy theory or anything. I'm just saying, like,
Oh, there ain't no theory about that. People are dying.
It's
like
real.
no. I'm saying like, it's almost like it's time stamped. Like, damn, why? You get what I'm saying? I'm saying that I'm not trying to put
Like
a
it's happening,
conspiracy out
it's
there.
happening,
I'm just saying
It's
why.
a pattern. It's happening
Why-
in routine. Like it's
Exactly,
And-
routinely.
and
Exactly.
the why, if you ask me, is because as a society we are infatuated overall with violence.
well, and then
That's my
if you
answer.
notice, spikes of shit like this always happens when it's about to be an election, right? And we know what's
Okay.
coming up this November.
Truth.
And we ain't really heard too much about if you was watching the Hidden Hand podcast this Monday when he was here, and we haven't heard too much about any of the presidential candidates. Who's running too much. We may know Trump is his name is fluttering out there, but
For many reasons.
The
yeah.
ridiculousness of that,
and he's gonna fuck around and get back in office. Watch.
except for unless they change the rules, he can't. He got impeached. Impeached sitting presidents don't get to run for president again.
There was a loophole about that. I can't remember exactly, but he didn't get actually.
He didn't get put out.
He didn't get removed from office.
Right, he didn't get removed, but he definitely got impeached. And the way I understand it, that happens. You don't get to run for dog catcher no more. You don't get to run.
dog
They
catcher.
impeached Clinton though, right? They impeached Clinton.
Yeah,
Not a dog
yeah, they
catcher.
did.
But did he
need a
run?
political-
But did he won? He
political
But that was his
podcast or
second
something.
term.
Yeah, that was he had no. He wasn't able to
Okay.
run again.
We went
anyway.
from
Fuck y'all
transgender
out
to
here
Trump.
talking about?
No,
Transgender-
just current events.
Transgenders and Trump.
There
But
was,
then what was the actual?
Skip this segment.
What was the actual title of the show today, though? What was the?
well, thoughts and prayers,
Trumps
man.
and transgenders.
America,
Walking
do better. Let's
We need to do
Hard
better on this
segue.
topic too.
right on into what it is we're talking about. Now we're going from one heavy topic right on into
Right, I was
another
about
one.
to say.
Today's topic, America, is toxic parent versus absent parent. And before we get off into it, I want to ask just one general question. I didn't put it on the show sheet, my bad. But who is more important in the upbringing of the child? And you can't say both. Who's more important to the upbringing of the child? The mother or the father?
That's a very unfair question.
It is. It is. It's polarizing, and it's
The
polarizing
reason,
for a
the
reason.
reason why I say that is because it's unfair because
It's case sensitive to the individual child, I would say.
Okay, I'll take that.
But I'm gonna say, and I've said this for many years. The mother is very important to the child from the age of, let's say, conception to roughly 11 or 12. After that, the father is definitely have to be there, especially for a boy.
Okay. And Trouble done walk in the building. What up, though?
What's going on, family?
What's your answer? Who's more important to the child? I mean, I know all of the obvious shit, so
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question for a reason before we get into the topic.
Yeah, I think the father. I think it's critical to have a father in a household child's life.
The father's the backbone of the discipline.
Yeah, they lay the structure down. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like the dad build the house in a way, and the mom decorate it. Like, you know
Got
what I
it.
mean? The mom make the house a home in a way.
Got it.
But I think the father is the structure. You know what I mean? That's the reason why so much lack of structure in society nowadays. That's why all these, you know what I'm saying? Everybody naked on the internet or transgenders shooting up schools and the fact that
Trump
he got
running
to
for
that
office.
point.
Here's my thing, right? If a lot of
Transition to that
times
point.
in our community we can pinpoint issues in the household directly being a result of the father not being in the home, right?
Yeah.
Right. So why is not the solution to all of these problems the father being in the home? It's common sense.
Because
to
the
me.
agenda is to remove the father from the home.
It seems very,
Right.
very cut and dry.
Yeah.
But then we enter into the conversation, today's topic: toxic parent versus absent parent. And before we go any further down the wormhole, so that I don't forget, the Face the Music song of the week is "Thanks for My Child" by one hit wonder Cheryl Pepsi Riley.
Don't do her like that.
She was though.
High
But it
five.
was a dope
High five
song.
for getting the phrase right today.
I'm gonna give you a high
Again.
five with a finger every
I
time
don't care.
from now on. But toxic parent versus absent parent, and
Because I think it's
I thought that
And-
was Prince when you sent me the
oh,
on the group chat. I ain't click on it.
That's
I
funny.
seen the little Jerry Curl, the little
Damn.
with a blouse. I was like, that's got to be.
That's
I thought
Prince.
you went Dove's Cry. I was like, all right, he probably went
You
Dove's Cry.
silly.
no.
But you know,
I seen the blouse.
the initial question that was put toxic mother versus absent father.
Yeah.
But I've also seen situations where you had the absent mother and the toxic father. So that's why I presented it as,
Yeah,
in the parent
it
form,
definitely
because
goes
it's effed up either
all
way.
the way
Yeah.
around.
It's so
But-
effed up.
But let's polarize it. Which is worse? The toxic. I mean, we could insert parent specific, like we could say which is worse, toxic mother or absent father. But
We could
like you
ask
said-
both ways.
But
Let's
like
ask
you
it both
said,
ways.
And I think I actually will ask it that way for the sake of the conversation. Which do we think is worse, the toxic mother or the absent father? Anybody?
Which is worse?
Which is worse? Now, keeping this in mind, you just said,
Yeah.
and I think we all sort of kind of agree in some form that the father's backbone of the household.
yeah,
So
yeah,
with that said,
yeah.
which would you think is worse?
Yeah. I gotta say, from my personal experience, I'm gonna say my personal experience. Probably the toxic
Toxic
mom
mother.
dukes. Yeah, probably toxic mom dukes.
I think any situation where you're dealing with a toxic parent
Yeah,
is
toxic person. In
yeah,
particular.
it's gonna be hard. You can, and I'm not even gonna say you can get over it, because I know people who they grow up and even in their adulthood they have issues with the absent parent, whether it's a mother or father. But when you grow up taking on traits of the toxicity of the parent
Yeah.
that raised you,
That's a fact.
yeah. So I think that is worse.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Yeah.
You can actually even tie the two together. You can say that the absence of the father could be
The reason
Well,
why.
I was about to say,
well,
I think that having a toxic mother, it will probably be worse. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing: when you have a toxic father, a lot of times the child still has the mother to fall back on. But if you have a toxic mother, it ain't no that like that you're stuck with the toxic mother. You see what I'm
Okay,
saying?
well, let's-
because the majority of the time the child is with the mother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But-
let's
You don't
go-
see a child stuck
let's
with a
go to
toxic
this then,
father without a
because
mother
this,
being-
This actually
No.
goes into another question that we want to get to, which is how often do we see it where the toxic mother becomes a de facto reason that there is the absent father? To start, whatever the relationship may have been, her activities, her actions, for lack of a better word, drive him away.
Well, what is he? Okay, so this has always been weird to me because I know men who have toxic ass baby mothers, and they do what they supposed to do to get joint custody of their kids. They don't just run the hell off.
Right.
I never find that an excuse. You have to tell me a legit reason why you just run off and leave your child with someone you know is toxic as hell. Make that shit make sense.
And to be fair, I don't think it makes sense at all. But I have seen it, I have heard it be the reason. Not that I agree with it, but I've heard it be the reason. And then you see the behavior, and it's like, I'm going to do everything I can for my kid, but I get your point. Not that I agree with it, because some of the shit some of the behavior is horrible.
Right. Just like my son's father, our situation was very toxic towards one another. However, I never left my kid away from him. You know what I'm saying? It was never ever a case where, okay, you can't see your father because he's toxic, or you can't see your father because of this, and vice versa. If I was like, oh, you can't see your child, to me, it would make no sense for him not to go down and ask the course, like, look, this is my child. I've signed the birth certificate. I need to have rights.
I think
how can you help me?
I think that's the way that it should absolutely should
Not
be.
just walk away.
But
and,
let me rephrase the
I'm
question
pulling
and
up.
put it this way.
Huh,
I dig it.
right.
I dig
pulling
it.
up.
I'm the same
Right.
way. I mean, not for
This
nothing.
is
Not
your
that I'm
damn
putting my business
child.
out in the street,
This
but
not
I
just a
had
random
to
You know what's
pull up.
crazy? I had to
I did.
understand it with my son's mom before she ever got pregnant. Like, it's never gonna come a day where I'm gonna sit in front of some white man and you're gonna tell me what days I'm gonna get, when I can see my son, what
period.
times,
And
what
I don't like
hours.
that shit.
I'm not doing that.
I don't like it.
I'm not doing that. When
don't
they
like
come to
it.
my son, everything run through me. I'm the bottom line.
And
You know what
I'm not
saying?
mad at it. Now let's enter into toxicity. There are a lot of situations, and speaking of sitting in front of that white man, it's a bunch of fathers sitting down in front of that white man in that building who are there because not that they perhaps were ran away, but as a result of this toxic behavior, they are disallowed. You could pull up if you like, and I know because I've been that guy.
Yeah.
But you end up getting.
Well, I did. I fought through it, and the
As you should
toxicity,
have.
the toxicity in my relationship wasn't as bad as it was for others. There are some people who literally go through all of these paces, and the toxicity doesn't come from the fact that they're toxic so much towards the parent, towards the kid, but they're toxic towards the other
Individual.
parent. And that drives the behavior, which creates a reaction where guys not seeing their kid.
And then you have the flip side where the guy is so ding dong toxic. The mom like, you know what? We're not doing this all right.
Also true.
So
Yeah. You know what though? But I hate that role, right? And that's on both sides,
Right.
Like, whether it's the mom, they call it protecting the child from the dad, or the dad protecting the child from the mom. Because the first step is to know who the fuck you laying down with to have kids
Very
with.
true.
Can we start doing
So
that?
before you start all this, oh, she toxic, he toxic.
Come on now.
Absolutely true.
A bitch don't just turn crazy after you had kids. Bro.
No.
Same thing with niggas. Them signs be there the whole time. That shit be there the whole time. And people don't take accountability for that.
No,
Right.
And then they want you to empathize with them. And
And the
afterwards,
empathy is not necessary.
You know what I'm saying?
It
Like,
shouldn't
nigga,
be there.
no,
Except
nigga,
for
you know
their-
that bitch is
But
crazy.
here's the reality.
I knew my
though.
son's father was
You
crazy,
knew that nigga was
and
crazy.
that's why I deal with him
You know?
accordingly. I didn't take him to France
But
or
here's-
court or nothing.
Facts.
Me and you got,
that ain't how you deal with a crazy nigga. You
Except
supposed to knock
for-
him over the head anyway.
But check.
You
Here's
understand that
here's the
shit?
reality of it,
For real,
though.
with that bitch.
I
At
agree
the end.
with
At
everything
the end
y'all
of the day.
saying, but there's a reality. Yep, you should know the person that you laying down with. You should
Yeah.
know the person that you having. However,
Yeah.
it's not happening on a wide enough scale to where it's an issue.
And one of the reasons why is because we have so many broken freaking homes.
Yeah.
People do not understand how great or the importance of having a good core relationship with the person that you're having a relationship with,
Whether
that
y'all
you're
in the household
building
together or
up,
not.
right? Building a foundation with. You know what I'm saying? You can't just you know what I'm saying? Hank look good. Let me sleep with him, and
Also-
then end up pregnant, and now y'all have to have a good foundation because you have a child. There's no reason not to have a good foundation when you have a person that depends on the both of you. Don't just depend on Hank. Don't just depend on me. Depends on the both of you. So grow the fuck up,
Except
however that may be.
But that's easier said than done.
It's easier than
Especially-
said.
it's
In certain
easier
situations,
said
yeah.
than done.
Yeah.
Especially once the kid is here. You're forced to grow the fuck up on one level so that you can raise this kid. But with regards to your relationship with someone else, and maybe not even just the father of the kid or the mother of the kid, but relationships, period. And there's almost no time to grow the fuck up in that area because you do have the kid that you have to deal with, and that becomes job one and priority one. So these things fall by the wayside and they cause this toxicity, which once again we wind up
You gotta
having
just
people-
you gotta just really just gotta be in control of your situation. Like you gotta
You do.
understand your importance, your role in the household. You gotta understand
Right.
your
As
power,
well
what you
as
can control
under-
and what you can't control. You
Let
gotta
him
just
as well as understanding that the other parent is necessary, which
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of the toxic behavior comes from.
Yeah.
A lot of the absenteeism comes from because you're like, well, man, for you when the father just goes absent and says it's because the bitch is crazy, what he's actually saying is, no, I don't want to deal with her.
he's saying he's not
And-
capable of being able to deal with it. He's not
Okay,
equipped
or perhaps
tools to-
with,
yeah.
But it's not the kid.
Yeah, you're not capable.
It's not the kid that he's not capable of dealing with. It's
Yeah.
her that he's not capable of dealing with. And collateral damage. This is the broken home part
Yeah.
that irks me. The collateral damage winds up being the emotional stability,
But you-
emotional health, and well-being of the kid.
Right. But at the end of the day, that's why it's an old saying. But when I say it rings so true, it takes a whole village. If
Sure.
I know for a fact that I'm your sister, and I know for a fact you and your baby mama, for whatever reason, y'all jacked up, boo, bring the baby to me.
Yeah.
I'll get the baby over
Yeah.
to trouble.
That's Auntie
You know
Sweet
what I'm
Pea.
saying?
We all got
right.
Auntie Sweet Pea.
Right. You know what I'm
It
saying?
would
We
be
gonna make
great.
sure it has something, because like me and my son's father, we're cool until we ain't, and when
Yeah.
we ain't cool, but that's why the grandmother is there. But then she has allowed us to get to a place where when I do call him or he do call me, it's more cordial.
Yeah.
And we have a way, because all the smoke and cleared, you know what I'm saying, it's more cool now. I still don't really go out my way to talk to him.
Right.
Because
right.
I don't have no reason to.
Right.
But if I had to talk to him, we're there now.
Right.
But that's why it takes that village. And so many times we don't utilize the village, or the family itself on either side don't have that concept
Village ain't
of the
established.
village. Right. They
Why?
don't have that concept of the village.
Or even more common is people don't subscribe to the concept of the village.
That's what I said, yeah.
And they don't choose. It's not that they don't know
I'm
utilize it.
one of them motherfuckers.
Generally choose not
I'm
to.
one of them motherfuckers. Don't just get the fuck out of my business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what though? Because I feel like I can handle it on my own. One thing I learned when I was a kid, and I learned this from a little kid, and this what kind of helped me through my adulthood. Getting along with a motherfucker is a choice. It's your choice.
It is.
Getting along with a motherfucker is your choice. Sometimes it requires sacrifice. Sometimes it requires compromise. Sometimes it requires giving a little to get a little. You know, you can't always be on the getting that. Sometimes you got to take the short end of the stick. You know, but you got to think about it. When you have a child involved, it's worth it.
Right.
Maybe when you don't have to deal with that. But once you have a child involved, it's not about you no more.
Right.
Right? It's about that child
Ain't
you chose
about
to bring
your
it to the
feelings.
world. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's
and
not
it's just
about
like
all that.
this. If a motherfucker was paying you $1 million salary a year to get along with the motherfucker you had a child with, you would get along with that motherfucker. Why? Because you want the money.
At the end
You
of the
made a
day,
choice in that
at the end of
in
the
that
day.
moment. You know what? I don't like that motherfucker, but I'm gonna do that shit for this $1 million.
Just because we do it
And
all
so
the
you
time.
and if you can
For
agree to
less-
that and
way
say
less than $1 million.
right, and if you can agree to that, you can say, hey, what price tag do you put on
your
And
child.
a
that
child.
right there, again,
Come on
is
now.
another.
I like that.
Come
You
on
can get
now.
the fuck along.
But guess what?
You know
That
what I'm
right
saying?
there,
Even if you
actually-
got to get it on once,
That right there actually
pop it off. You know what I'm
that
saying? Get it out the
actually
system.
that actually speaks to another facet of the maturity that causes the toxic behavior and absenteeism, because that person who you might make that offer to might actually value that money more so than they value their kid, which is why it's easy for them to see that incentive versus simply seeing an incentive of raising a well-adjusted kid.
And unfortunately, we have so many people, and it's sad because I'm used to seeing, and I guess it's sad to say I am used to seeing the father say, you know what, F it, you know. But for a mother who not raised, but birthed the child, and had the child, you know, growing their body for all that time, and then you birth the child and nurture the child to get up and just walk the hell away.
Crack. It be crack.
And it don't.
Crack. It gotta be crack.
It be crack. Crack strong. Only thing strong enough to pull a mama from a child. Crack.
But you know what?
Or like
Nowadays it's
Jingle ain't about
motherfucking.
that big, nigga. You
It's
might pull out
way-
the jaw.
Nowadays
way
it's
more.
the hot girl summer. Nowadays, you know what I'm saying? It's BBLs.
Yep.
Nowadays it's stuff like that. You get what I'm
Internet
saying?
models.
Right.
It's,
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Bunch of, but let's get into these lyrics because they speak to.
Y'all tried to do that so smooth. It was
They
so
tried
horrible.
it. We heard it all.
Yeah.
But let's get into the lyrics. So, because everything that we're talking about is sort of kind of implicitly displayed in this song. Implicitly. The opposite of explicitly.
Explicitly.
I'm just going to stop saying these words so you can stop
We
trying to repeat them.
gonna dock this nigga Mark too for making me take shots out the bottle with the absence of cups here.
Trouble taking it to the head.
To the head. Ho, pause.
The absence of cups has caused toxicity to flow through Trouble's veins. Anyway, here go the lyrics. You came into my life, you made everything right, and even though my man has left me behind, I don't regret a thing for having you. Thanks for my child. I'm really thanking you, the man above. Thanks for my child. You brought me so much joy, this bundle of love. Thanks for my child. And though your father, he ran away free, the love I have for you, baby, is the love I have in me. Here we go with what I would deem as one of the roots of toxicity.
Titties.
Hey, can I say something about that too? Let me tell you something about that real quick. This is one thing I don't, and I'm only speaking to the black households because I've never been a part of a white one. You know what I'm saying? So this what I've noticed, like from my personal experience, things that black women do that I kind of wish would stop, right? Because I was this kid. I hate how when the father's absent or the man is absent, they go to that child, that boy, maybe the first born boy, the first of the litter, whatever, however you want to do it, and try to make him the man of the house now and take away his childhood, but push him into manhood in a way. Like it's like so I give you an example. Even like me and my son's mom had separated for a couple of months so she can work through her brain because she a little slow like that sometimes. You know, you got to give her space, let her breathe. But I noticed she started calling my son, like, she went from calling him baby to, like, bae. She'd be like, bae, come here. And I'm like, yo, stop doing that shit. Don't call him that. You know what I'm saying? That's not his name. But that was her natural transgression. Like, she didn't even realize she was doing it. It was just kind of like, she was just kind of like, in a way, using him to fill the void. You know what I'm saying? Like, they make you, and that's a black household thing. Like, you the man of the house. You're like, no, motherfucker, I'm 9.
But the crazy part about it, and I'm gonna tell you, as a female, it was the same way with me. I grew up fucking cooking. I was a 9-year-old cooking full-fledged dinners. I was washing clothes. I was getting the kids ready for school. Like, I was the little wife in the house. You know what I'm saying? I woke up, made my dad breakfast, made his coffee, ironed his shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my mom was at home. You know what I'm saying? But I was there.
And those are two different things. The same actions, probably coming from a different place. Yeah. And in one regard, you may definitely be filling a void. In the other regard, you may be being prepared for adulthood or womanhood or manhood, whatever the case may be. And I guess it really depends on the mentality of the person that's doing it, how it's viewed. So
it's still viewed
I don't necessarily get too weirded out by it unless the actions start to show that, oh, you trying to replace your man with your son. I just don't like the ideology behind making a child, you know what I'm saying, a man in the house.
Yeah,
I don't like that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, period. I didn't like it when I had to play the role.
I didn't like it when I had to play the role because I didn't have a childhood.
Facts. Me either. You know what I mean? My shit was dedicated to, you know what I'm saying, raising my little brother type shit. Like, you the man in the house when I'm not here. No, fuck, I'm not. No, I'm the kid. I want to go play too.
But let's get back into the lyrics though, because along with trying to be something,
history.
That's being black.
That's black
trying
in
to be
America.
Something that
being
you're
black.
not. Here's to that concept. Here's another something that sort of kind of bugs me, and the lyrics go like this: I'll raise you by myself, a one-woman show. You make life worth singing a song. Oh, that's just a band. But I want to focus on this part right here. I'll raise you by myself, a one-woman show. Now that lyric, in and of itself, I don't really have an issue with. But when you zoom out and you take that lyric as a concept, and you get the I'm the mother and the father kind of concept, that type of shit, along
the
with
mother wanting to be celebrated on Father's Day.
My mama weird like that. We beefed
but
today about that
along
shit.
with that,
You ain't call me.
hold on, along with
what
that,
are you talking about?
what you wind up getting.
So that's bitterness.
Well, but see, this is what I'm talking about. What you wind up having, again, you're directing bitterness and toxicity that should be aimed at the father. You now aiming it at the son or the daughter, and that shit is where for me, it really
I don't get off. I don't subscribe. I don't subscribe to that. It's Father's Day. Wish me happy. No, because I'm not a father. I'm a whole mother. You know what I'm saying? If my son's father wasn't at all in the picture, I still wouldn't want to celebrate Father's Day. I don't have a dangling. I don't want to have a dangling. So I don't.
Still like some Bruce Jenner stuff going on.
Right. I don't exactly. I don't want to celebrate Father's Day. I just don't.
Yeah. And so the concept behind it though, like you said, is you want to celebrate. You don't want to celebrate it because you feel that you're doing
both jobs.
The role of the mother and the father.
Right,
no,
that ain't shit to celebrate.
That's not.
That's an L.
You're making
right.
You're making that statement because
you're bitter.
You're bitter.
You're bitter.
Person that's not.
You're
there.
bitter, and it's weird because at the end of the day, I can never be my son's father. Like, I can't. The only thing I can be is his mother, and I could be the best mother I could possibly be. And I F up sometimes, and I kick myself sometimes, and I question myself. Like all parents, any real parent, whether you're a mother or a father, you constantly question yourself like, okay, what can I do better? Should I have done this? Should I said this? What, you just... it's a emotional roller coaster being a
Yeah.
parent. But
I was watching a podcast the other day. They put up some statistics, and I had kind of looked into it myself a little bit. They was close to accurate, but it was like close to 80% of men who don't have their fathers in their lives or not in their lives in the household. Mm-hmm. Parents kids who grew up in a single family household with just a mom. Close to 80% of them go to jail at least once in their life. And then with the girls, it was closer to 70% of the girls who grew up without fathers and without a 2-parent household, growing up with just a mom, end up having kids early. What do you call that shit?
yeah,
Under
teen
teen pregnancy type shit.
but you know what? Because it's an off balance.
yeah,
You can't.
yeah,
How can you regulate your household and be off at work? I'd be tired when I get home. You know what I'm saying? Just like today, I told my son, I'm like, babe, you're going to have to make you a sausage or something. Mama not cooking.
Hey,
it.
my mama used to call it seafood day.
Whatever
you see is what you gonna eat. Nigga.
I'm gonna tell you something else. Here's a
But at least he got food in the refrigerator.
general,
You know
Here's
what I'm
another
saying?
general stat though, because I swear to you, man, I think I truly do believe, not that it's justified, I truly do believe there is something to there being a correlation to the toxicity and the absenteeism. But with that said, statistically speaking, at least for black men, statistically speaking, black men, by whatever metric you want to use, are pretty good fathers overall. Mm-hmm. The difference is we don't marry or are shit husbands, statistically, by these same metrics. And
yeah, I know some guys who are great fathers, but they will make the worst
But
boyfriends, husbands, or whatever.
I say that to say
because
this.
it's not important to you until you find the right woman.
But I say all of that to say this though. As a result of those two dynamics being true, you have a lot of women who project the fact that he may be shit in a relationship onto the parenting side. This is how I think this is how a lot of people come up with he ain't shit, he ain't, and they'll tell these lies to their kids about dad. Yo, daddy ain't here because no. Daddy is here. Albeit he may not be in a relationship with mom. Daddy is being daddy. Daddy is here to do daddy things. But because he's not in the household, you get to create a narrative about him, and that's
to me that's a flag on the play.
It absolutely is.
You don't talk bad about your son's
happens all the time,
or
right?
your kid's mother. You don't talk back about your kid's father. You wanna know why? Because that's ignorant as hell. It's just about as
make you look bad.
it make you look bad.
Eventually.
It make you look dumb. I'm gonna tell you why. It's just as bad as being in a relationship or being in a marriage and going to your family all the time and say, she did this or he did this, and then wonder why when you bring them around your family treating them cold or not welcoming them to them. You've created this weird toxic vibe because of what you're putting out there. Stop doing that, because your child has to be with you and your child has to be with the other parent, and they should have a good relationship with both. Whatever the hell go on between y'all two is what go on between y'all two.
And I agree, but we know that this shit happens.
I mean, it does happen. I'm just putting out there so those who are listening, if they do that, stop, asshole.
Nah,
Love you.
Here's something else that I want to interject into the conversation, because I mean we've been talking a lot about the toxic mother versus the absent father. I want to ask this question: which is worse, the absent father?
And you mean the opposite mother?
The absent father or the inconsistent father? The absent father, he knocked her up. You ain't seen him since the first trimester.
Right.
The inconsistent father is the one who, I won't see my kids. and
Never show
then
up.
the kid
Keep it
sitting
for
there
a
with the
week.
baseball, waiting for dad to come and teach
I
him how to
think-
play
I think-
catch, and he don't show up.
I think the inconsistent father, and I've said that for years, even though I haven't had an inconsistent father. My father's always been there for me. Thanks, Pop. But I feel like that will hurt the child worse. It's one thing to just feel like my father wasn't man enough to raise me, and it's another thing where you see this nigga ain't shit. He ain't gonna raise me. He ain't gonna do nothing but just sell me, fake dreams or whatever. What you gonna say? Mark?
Inconsistent dad is letting the child down over and over again.
Right, there we go.
Right,
The absent father only let him down one time.
one time.
I guess that's one way to look at it. Fair enough.
You got to deal with that hurt over and over again. So
I-
as
I-
I'm-
I'm sort of kind of
the
on the
absent
fence
father,
about it.
the child is not even expecting the dad.
Right.
right.
Versus him expecting and constantly getting let down by the dad.
True. So the results of that emotionally are immediate, but we take into account the stats that Trouble was bringing up. That absent father, although it might not be immediate and right in your face on that consistent level, over time, the results may very well be worse. I'm on the fence about this one. I've heard this question asked a few times, and I still don't know if I could come up with
Well,
a decent answer for that.
when you say inconsistent father, and you're talking about a father that's still really not there, he's inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? He comes in and comes out.
When he's
So
there,
he's-
it's great, but then when he's not, and you're expecting him to be, that's where the letdown
Right,
comes.
but those kids grow up jacked up too. Those
Absolutely.
kids grow up and
Because
go.
you know why though? Because their parents don't communicate it to them to a level to where they can understand it. They don't articulate it to the kid exactly what's going
I'm
on.
not even gonna lie
They'll
to you. I
allow
don't think
the
there's any
child
level
to
of
hold on.
articulation you
Pause.
can-
Yeah, let him
They'll-
finish. Let
Go
him
ahead.
finish his statement.
They'll allow the child to go through that situation and kind of get a feel for it and an understanding for it, and on their own kind of figure it out. Like, oh, you decide how you decide, or you feel how you feel about it towards, I'm not going to keep you from your dad. I'll let you be around him, and then they'll let them go around them, knowing the father's or the mother, vice versa.
Yeah, 'cause
it's
it's moms like
inconsistent.
that.
Let them
But then-
develop their own opinion.
Exactly. Then when they get back a hold of them, they don't see. It's like a build break build thing that you have to do with your child in order for them to understand. And that's what I learned. So I did sales for like 14 years, and what I learned how to do is have conversations, like because that's the main thing, dealing with people having conversations. And the main
Yeah.
thing I learned is that in certain things, communication is important.
It is key.
You know what I'm saying? So it's key in every situation. So in order for that child to understand, and it's not to be like, oh yeah, mom told me about you, nigga. Ah, fuck you, nigga. You don't fuck you, nigga. You
Right,
ain't
not
shit.
that.
It's not
Right.
like that. It's like, okay, mom told me how you are, so now I know how to deal with you. I don't have any animosity towards you. I understand. Shit, I know how you are. I'm a big advocate on that, on biological parents being involved as much as they can, however they can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not to say that it's excusable or that a child's father should have that ability to come in and out as he pleases.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like that shit at all. But sometimes you got to take a little bit in the beginning to get a lot of bit in the end. So this is the thing, and what I from people I even know that had situations like that, because I didn't have one like that. But they tend to have a better relationship with the parent when they both become as they become an adult.
Yeah.
They can sit down and have that conversation.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? And they can say, hey, listen, you know what I mean? Sit and have that conversation. Now, but when you absent completely, child don't want to talk to you. He see
Right.
you like, nigga, get the fuck on, man.
The Will Smith
You know what I'm
thing,
saying?
you
Like,
know
dog,
what
get
I'm
the
saying?
fuck out my face. You know, before I blow your shit out. Like, niggas,
Right.
kids be like that towards an absent father versus
Right.
a inconsistent father. They hear you out. Like, let me, why you wasn't there for Christmas
Right.
or birthday?
Let me help me understand.
Help me understand.
Here's
You know what I'm saying?
When that, now I don't, I guess it would depend on how that's explained and who's doing the explaining.
Yeah.
Because you and I both know that 6-year-old kid sitting there that was waiting to go to the Tigers game
Yeah.
and got stood up,
Yeah.
that kid's not understanding shit.
Yeah.
No matter what you say to him.
Yeah.
But One, because, well, hell, he really wanted to go to that Tigers game, but more importantly, he really wanted to go to that Tigers game with his dad.
Yeah.
So trying to get him to understand, and let's say there was actually a legitimate reason. You could say, well, son, you know, I got held over at work or whatever it is. But that type of explanation may fly once or twice. But when there starts to be a pattern, when there starts to be that inconsistency, that kid, if the mother goes, see, I told you that he wasn't shit, and sort of kind of push you in a direction or create a narrative for you to resent him, that's fucked up on her part. On your part, the fact that you're doing it is almost irreprehensible because it builds up a callous in that kid.
And
now, if at
towards
some
them.
point in time they heal from that type of trauma later in life and you can have that conversation that you're talking about, okay. But you literally squandered like 10, 12, 15 years and this kid has built up a hell of a callous. So I'm like I said, I'm on the fence about it. I really can't say for sure. I can see the fucked upness in both of them.
Right.
Facts. Yeah.
But you know what? I get, you're absolutely right. And I get what he's saying because even with me and my mom, we had to get to a point where as an adult, I had to say, you know what? I forgive my mom. You know what I'm saying? And I never brought to her like, Mom, back in the day, man, you was messed up. You did this, you did that. I never brought that back to her because I seen her be a better mom to my siblings. So it's kind of like, well, shoot, she's doing something better. So, and we gained mutual respect and love for each other as I grew up. You know what I'm saying? I became an adult and I became a mother. When I
You
became
was the oldest kid?
I was the firstborn, so I was the one they fucked up. Yeah,
experiment.
I was the one they fucked up.
Experimenting shit.
The beta tester.
Right.
All right.
Trying shit, won't work.
I came to that realization. What helped me get that understanding and forgiveness is having a kid of my own.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Yeah.
When I had to be the parent, and I had to say, oh, this shit ain't easy.
It's not.
This shit ain't easy at all.
It's not.
And I had to say, okay, you know what? They were doing the best that they could.
Yep.
They did the best that they could. I mean, granted, I didn't come from a single parent home. In fact, my parents are celebrating 50 years of marriage coming up in August.
Damn.
But
My parents were together too, but it was some toxic
going
stuff going on up
that
in there.
damn sure don't mean that it wasn't. It was just all shits and giggles. But it is an experiment. Especially if you're the first child. I was the firstborn too. Is you try shit, you find out
What to do, what not to do.
all of the shit that you said, man, I ain't never doing that when I had
And you
kids.
start doing it.
And then you start doing it. Or, you know, there was shit that you thought was cool that your parents did, and then you tried on your kid. Oh,
That's not gonna work.
It.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's an experiment. It's definitely trial and error. So getting to understand that, hey, everybody had to be a parent to somebody at some point.
And everybody is their own individual. So it's even harder to me when you have multiple kids, man, because you got to figure out who this kid is versus this kid.
Because what's
gonna work for this
not
one,
work for the other one.
it ain't gonna work on
swear,
Johnny.
me and my brother are the test sample for that shit. Because I swear, my brother got away with murder on account of my ass, and I look back on it, and I have to say, well, you know what? He ain't me, and I'm not him, so I understand. I still don't want to have to take your ass whoopings though, little nigga. I'll talk to you next week.
Well, you know what? When you have siblings, that happens because we used to take turns getting each other in trouble, and we'd be on point with it. We'd be like, "So did it."
Terrible.
But what have we learned
though?
today?
You know what? I'm gonna say this. We actually learned that we can actually do this mature shit. We
did.
I told you every time I high five you.
I don't give a damn.
As I talk about us being mature.
Right.
Nonetheless, parting shots. Anybody?
I think when it comes to parenting, Be the best parent that you know how to be, and learn how to communicate not only with your child, but communicate with the other parent.
Facts.
I think when you parenting, take the ego out of it. Understand that
Boom.
shit ain't about you.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying?
Boom.
Point
Boom.
blank, period. I hate, you know what I mean? I hate seeing parents talk about themselves when they're
Right.
talking about parenting. Like, that
Right.
shit ain't, it's not about you no more.
It's
you know what I'm
not.
saying? Like, you used to be, you know, that guy, you used to be a bad bitch. That shit's dead. It's over. It's over with.
It's over.
It's not about you no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you have a child, that child's life is the absolute most important thing in that relationship. Not your
Period.
feelings towards that person, not how
Period.
many bitches he fucked,
Period.
how many niggas she slept with.
Period.
It's not about how many times y'all scrapped and how many times you called the police. It ain't about none of that toxic shit. It's about the kid.
About
You know,
the
put the
kid.
kid first and understand that person's feelings. And like I said, understanding that getting along with that person you chose to have a child with is a choice, and it's also your responsibility. It's not even
Come
just
on
a
now.
choice. It's your
Come on now.
responsibility. So
Come on,
gotta
preach.
step up to the plate, man. You know, if you didn't want to do that shit, you shouldn't. You should have came in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? But
We gotta let
since you didn't,
With
since
that
you
said,
didn't, nigga,
I'm literally just gonna say,
she ain't suck
listen.
it up, so you got to.
make sure that
hilarious.
however you are raising
Love
your
you,
child,
T-Boz.
you are raising them instead of resenting perhaps the failed relationship.
Ooh.
Make sure that you are not holding them accountable for your fuck ups. Make sure you're not holding them accountable because you couldn't get along with somebody else, i.e. the baby mama or baby daddy, and allow them to be your son or daughter instead of your mistake or your extension of your failed relationship or whatever the case may be.
All right.
And if y'all can't get along, man, just go out to one of these cities and find you a transgender school shooter, nigga, and get that
This
shit
has
over
been
with.
Face Music. This has been Face the Music. This has been Face the No, turn that shit the fuck off. This has been Face the Music.
No, we not doing that. I was trying to say what's up to our YouTube people.
In 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.